Hey guys, Travis here with Alberta Back Road, and today we're heading out to do some overlanding. We're heading out to BC for about a week to do some camping. Unfortunately, we're stuck taking one Jeep, just my wife's Rubicon. Reason being, I kind of wrecked mine, so well, stay tuned for that video anyways. You know, it is what it is, so if you enjoy, stay tuned. After double checking all our gear, we headed out of Fort McMurray. We headed towards Edmonton, through Edmonton, and towards Jasper National Park to reach the British Columbia border. We left Fort McMurray with the intention on reaching BC and finding a campsite on the first day of the ride, due to a lot of gray areas surrounding a recent off-highway vehicle ban in Alberta due to the COVID pandemic. That put a lot of uncertainty around where we could and couldn't take our Jeep to camp. So we're just outside of Jasper. We're going to continue on through Jasper and we're going to head to Valemount and try to find a nice camping spot around there somewhere. The ride through Jasper is just beautiful, with its high-reaching mountains, blue lakes, dense forest, and also the surplus of wildlife. It makes for a fantastic drive. I highly recommend doing it, even if it's just to pass through and go home. It's well worth the drive. However, one thing to keep in mind is that the wildlife can create a pretty big hazard, so you should try to keep your eyes on the road at all times, obey the speed limit, and keep an eye out for wildlife crossing. Oh, we finally made it to BC. Now we're headed off to Valemount. I think we're about 45 minutes away. When we get there, we're going to fuel up. We're going to go look for a campsite. We asked some of the locals to point us in the direction of a pretty good spot to camp, and they directed us to Kinbasket Lake. And the area they directed us to would turn out to be the best place I have ever camped. We traveled down a dirt service road, across a couple of bridges like this one, and down a few simple trails to get to where we were going, but man, was it worth it. So from what I've gathered, all of this runoff from the mountains over here and the mountains over there actually floods this entire area and makes it a lake. Pretty cool. Okay, so we made it to our campsite. What an epic campsite this is. This is going to be a great place to spend the night. We found a great spot to set up camp, and we set up camp, of course, with our tent door facing the mountains, because we didn't want to miss a second of this view. So, we got the camp all set up in this beautiful spot. Now we got the food cooking. Cooking us some chicken, some corn on the cob. This is probably the best campsite I think we could have found. I cannot wait to see what we find tomorrow. All too soon, night turned to day, and it was time for us to pack up camp and hit the road towards Clear Creek Hotsprings. Okay, so we made it to the road that leads to the Clear Creek Hotsprings. The road's pretty rough and rocky, so we're airing down the tires a few pounds, make the ride a little smoother. Clear Creek Hotsprings is located down Forest Service Road near Harrison Hot Springs. The first half of the road to get there is pretty easy going. It's a little rough and rocky in some spots. On the second half of the road, we encountered quite a few washouts and some pretty tricky areas that might be difficult for some vehicles to get around. This washout was a little bad. It was worse than the other ones. I apologize for the shaky video in this screen. I was trying to spot and record at the same time. One thing is for certain about this trail. The views on the trail and off in the distance were just absolutely amazing. Alright, so we made it to camp at the Clear Creek Hotsprings. They camp by the river. Gonna have some lunch and go explore a bit. Campfire corn on the cob recipe. Clean each ear of corn. Coat it in butter. Wrap it up in tin foil. Then wrap all of it in one big piece of tin foil, like so. And then we're gonna put it in our fire pit oven and leave it sit for about 10 minutes. And the finished product, perfectly cooked corn. Already buttered, good to go. After finishing our supper and tidying up our garbage, it was getting pretty late, so we decided just to relax by the campfire for the night and go check out the hot springs in the morning. This little buddy heater works fantastic for heating this tent on cold nights, and no compensation. As soon as we got up in the morning, we headed over to check out the hot springs. Some people put a lot of time and effort into making this place as nice as it is, setting up those tubs and a change shed. Whoever you are, thank you. This place was great. Hot springs are just amazing. These tubs someone put here are filled over there. Got some tubes running into them. We'll have to go check that out in a minute. Needless to say, it was closer to 30 or 40 minutes before we went to check them out because these hot springs were just so relaxing. So this is where all that hot water comes from that fills those pools down there. What a great place to sit and soak up the minerals. One for the wall. Okay, so we got camp all packed up. We're all ready to go. Off to the next adventure. Well, we just got out of the trail. Gonna air up the tires, head down, fuel up, and see what else we can find. Unfortunately, after leaving Clear Creek Hotsprings behind us and getting back into the service area, we got a few phone calls and there was some family business we had to take care of. We had to cut our trip short. We had planned on staying for another 8 days or so and exploring beautiful British Columbia a little more. However, we're gonna have to save that for a later date. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. And if you did enjoy, please be sure to like and subscribe. If you have any questions or suggestions, leave it in the comments below. And feel free to check us out on Facebook and Instagram.